What was your favorite matches of your career?
Favorite matches?
I would say some of those early ones were
Roddy and
Vachon.
and Buddy Rose. Buddy Rose, when we first went there, he was one of the greatest technicians and psychological ideas of this business. And he was only 245 pounds and a great athlete and a tremendous interviewer, which he always had. But then we didn't see him for a few years, and then he blew up to over 300 pounds or whatever. But a great guy. And him and Roddy used to work out. They would think what the fans thought was going to happen, and then they would do the
counter,
right, and swerve. And they did great swerves. So they told great stories. So I think a lot of our memories go back to Oregon. That's why I said we learned a lot and learned really how to really work there, really work rather than just do things for no reason.
Do you have any good road stories that stick out in your mind, or any good stories of ribs that people played and stuff like that?
There was a lot in Stu Hart's territory. A lot. But it wasn't there.
Oh, we had lots. There were so many ribs, mate. And we were involved in a lot of them. We used to.
And Tommy was one of the leaders too.
Who's that, Tommy?
Dynamite Kid.
Okay.
He was
the second time we were there.
He was the head. Him and Fuji in that era, and Tommy in the next era. They were the chiefs of them. But Luke and I was always into the. But we never liked to. We liked to rib all the time, but not to destroy guys' property or things like that. See what would happen when it started ribbing. Guys would come in beautiful suits. This is in the early days. They'd come in beautiful suits. Someone had cut the leg off his suit, right? So the next guy come in, and then he'd nail down the guy's shoes first, and then fill them with glue or something. Then they'd nail down the Halliburton and super glue the locks, and expensive stuff.
Right.
Yeah, and property was getting destroyed, and guys were getting mad. I mean, they were getting madder and madder. So those ribs, and then in the end with Vince says no more ribs, no more ribs. So, but. There's always going to be ribs,
right?
But they're not as strong because the promoters won't let them. And I think it's a good thing because, as I said, they escalate.
Question. I'm just gonna. Well,
not bad.
I'll pause it. Okay. What are your thoughts on today's wrestling business?
Different and great, and it's good for this era. Every era's changed, and I think that's one of the reasons Luke and I have been around this business for so long, is because we've changed with it. Now, can we become high flyers and going off the turnbuckle? No. Our bodies wouldn't take it there. Were we ever? Not really. We would jump off the top turnbuckle, everything else, but we were never into somersaults and cartwheels and stuff like that. Is it good? Yeah. With a story, though. With a story. What I don't like is to see a whole card go out there and right from the first match to the last match have no story. All the guys go out and fight outside the ring. All the guys are on the mic, this and that. What wrestlers don't understand today, unless you're like a Stone Cold or The Rock, or somebody who they like to listen to and who's over, they can speak for 10 minutes and people don't mind. But if it's somebody they don't know, and even if he's the best speaker in the world, they don't want to hear him. So that's what guys have to learn. But the business has changed and you've got to change with it.
Yeah, like the WCW now, I actually saw it last week, and that all these younger guys come out of the school, they put the match together, of course, in the school and that, and it's like a tennis match. Boom, 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 boom. The only way the people get behind it when they introduce them, the people get a bit of the people give them a little lift, right? The star, and after the match, the guy gets his hand raised. So that's why all these little independent groups now you go around, all these other shows, the guys come out and do the same. They don't realize to get the people to come back and see it, and there's independent. Well, you're not back every week like it used to be when it was territorial. But to get the people to get involved with you, and that you've got to do something and tell a story. These guys come into the ring, boom, boom, boom. It's high flying, exciting, but they once they've seen it, it's over. If you're going to say next week this guy's going to be, say, Super Blue is over. Super Blue has beat someone. We'll come back to see Super Blue next week. He's going to get the people behind him to draw the next week. The kids today, they don't understand it. They just watch that TV. Which Vince is too. Vince has got his guys when they go out to do TV matches like that, but he's already got them over.
Right.
The people, they're already over as a personality. Where WCW bring them straight into the school, don't build them up. They don't build them up so much. Goldberg was the last one they really built up. And then they blew it. You know what I mean?
Right.
They blew it. And that where Vince builds them up, gets them over, and then puts them into a show, to a story. Where they were just doing, before this buyout with WCW, they were just bringing these guys out of the school, putting them against each other, and putting them into a soap when no one knew the actors. Usually try to get an actor over first and a few small things, and then put him into a major soap. You know,
Right.
And that's what's happening in all these independent shows today. The people come out, you go out and see all the matches, and it's like this. They do some great stuff, but there's no meaning. They do it, and they're up straight away. You know.
And I'll tell you too, I think what's harder, it's actually harder for young guys today to break into the business properly and to get a lot of experience and then jump into like WWF or WCW. Because before, what you would do is once you got broken in, then you could go to an Oregon, or you could go to a Bill Watts' territory, you go to somewhere else, and you could work every night, maybe first match, but work every night. And see, these guys today who break in, they might only have one match a month or one match every 2 weeks. So it's very hard. So they go out there on that one time and try to do everything that they know, because they don't have another chance for a month. So it's hard for them. It's hard for them to get experience. It's hard for them to get confidence. It's hard to learn how to participate and to work. The psychology covers the lot. It's hard to do that. So, and then all of a sudden to jump and into a big super thing like the WWF, very hard today. Yeah. So they've got it hard, but they watch so much on TV and stuff like that. Luckily, they become very wrestling smart even before they start, as you know, some of them are.
Right.
Now, before when we came here, there was 20 territories. Now, those 20 territories have been gone for at least 12 years. A couple of them got to 1990, I guess. The rest of them petered out in the late 80s, didn't they?
Since Vince,
well, Vince started 85, but they're still going to 88. Some of them were going, and they burnt them dry. Now, that generation of wrestler is over. You know, the ones coming from those territories, there's only a few left. And that now they're all either coming out of a school and having to go to one of the developmental schools.
Right.
And that, or go overseas to Japan. A lot of them go to Japan and work, if they can, they get hooked up, and they do, 20 weeks a year, which they can get groomed, then they come back here. That's a different style too, but you learn the fundamentals and you're in front of a crowd. Then when you come back here, you have to slow down.
You have to learn to work in different again.
You learn the practical side over there. It's the psychology there to here. It's completely
totally
different.
Yeah.
Did you guys like working as faces or heels?
Heels by far.
Heels by far.
But the we're more natural. But the bushwhacker thing, once it got over and we got with the people, the people helped us. The people got behind us, and without their help, we wouldn't have even ever got over it. And I don't think even Vince had intentions of us getting over as strong as the characters got over. I think that he let it go and then realized it was getting over and just kept letting it off the leash. And he even tried to pull that leash in a few times, and thank goodness for the people kept on wanting it and stuff. And so yeah, it's cool like that, but I still got that heel at heart.
Was there already talks of ever turning you heel while you're in Never.
Vince, that's one thing. Vince, we did suggest it to him a few times, and he said we can't.
Money for merchandising.
We can't. Yeah, that's right.
But now
there's always a reason.
But now the heel sold merchandise too.
Yeah,
it is.
But it was a different era. I mean, even 5 years ago was it? As you know, you were just talking about. It's a different era than what it is now. Every 2-3 years, the era changes. It's you and you've got to change a little bit with it. Just a fraction with it, right? You as I was saying before, you can't become a high flyer if you like it, but you've got to change something, just a fraction.
Right.